From 5 to 0, no command in the universe can prevent the computer from fulfilling its destruct orders.
15 seconds.
I command the computer. Mine is the final command.
10, 9, 8, 7.
This is the program that gives your business a technological edge in the 21st century. It's The Edge of the Web with your host, Erin Sparks.
This is Edge of the Web. We certainly can't command Google, but we can bend it to our wills a little bit. And this is what we do with Insight Strategics. We actually go through a number of different strategies that are proven strategies to be able to display your website at an optimum rate, optimum position, as well as convert leads and convert traffic into leads. So, I mean, it's two sides of the fence, but we're really focused on today getting traffic to your website. And I wanted to talk about in this segment something that's really important, and it may have been not really thought of in your business strategy whenever you're promoting your website, and that is local search engine optimization. What is local search engine optimization? John, give me a abstract of that real quick.
So organic local positions on search engines are derived from your physical address that they know about your business, which is why they're getting rid of the P.O. boxes, because some people can game the system.
Exactly.
Everything's going to mobile. Mobile's becoming increasingly more of a factor. I'm surprised it's taken as slow as it has.
Yeah.
But it's when you use your voice command on your Siri or on your Android, it's pinpointing
I'm glad
your
you led
GPS.
with Siri as opposed to Android.
Absolutely. Giving love on both platforms. It's going to use your GPS location to pinpoint what businesses are closest to your query.
Exactly.
And so it's huge.
It really is. And on top of it, it's either a local optimized site either comes up whenever you type in phrases used. A listing is either a pure local, which is more like a Google Place or a Google Plus local now, or it's in blended listings where Google will actually inject local companies that are relevant in search optimization in the search phrases, not just having a standalone display on a map. Right, so it's either one. Either you actually have it in an actual place format, or you've got it in a blended search environment. Right, there are factors for this, but before anything, why would I want to go optimize my website for local phrases? And when I talk about local SEO, I'm talking about, for example, I just pulled up Realtor, Greenwood, Indiana. Right. And on Google, I'm seeing all the paid ads. Well, you can always have paid position, and we've talked about that in previous episodes. But what I'm looking at on the screen here is on the right-hand side, there's a map of my physical location and a number of different references. There's a couple organic listings, and then we are going straight into a massive amount, it looks like 7 different listings of Google Place pages that are being displayed for the Realtor category. Now, if you think about what Google has done on their physical screen, they're obviously promoting the paid listings first, but they're only giving a few organics and then putting their own place page listings right there. Now, you still want to be on the page of organics, but you're seeing that they're putting all the real estate in front of the consumer for them to click on that first, as opposed to the organics.
Right.
The reason for local optimization is if I'm a consumer, I'm looking for a realtor, I may actually type in what we call a fathead term or a high yield term of realtor, but I'm going to get national companies across the country, as well as a mixture of some local inserts as well. And that's why Google's doing that. They're actually putting in some Google references or some local references in that huge mashup of national competitive websites. Well, if I as a consumer start qualifying my phrase of realtor, Indianapolis, or Southside Indianapolis, or Greenwood, Indiana, right? Well, I'm already doing the qualification for myself. If I'm looking for a realtor in that specific proximity, the engines are responding with much more relevant information, and that's going to actually be a better fit for what I'm looking for. And on top of that, the user that clicks on that website that's being displayed there has already qualified themselves, and there's more of an opportunity and more of a percentage yield of conversions coming from that traffic, as opposed to if I was a realtor trying to optimize in the national phrases of realtor.
Right. Yep. Most of us have been using Google long enough that we start to learn that the fathead phrases don't produce the results that we're looking for. No. And most of the people that ended up becoming the leads and the conversions are using 4 or 5 phrase terms.
That's right. That's right. So, what are the factors that actually play a part in this local optimization? Okay, one is the place page. Well, it's no longer called the place page. It is actually Google plus local. There's been a merge of Google, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. The website itself, whether or not you have local references, reviews of the website in the business, any type of off-site and off-place references, and we'll talk about that in a second. So you got 5 different core components. The actual local accounts that each search engine provides you, Bing, Yahoo, and Google, all give you a local account that you can manage that they provide. But you also have things that you can do for your own website, inbound marketing that you can do for your own website to promote that local connection. Okay? There's a lot of factors that go into optimization, and there's been some studies done. I want to relate to you some top 10 factors of ranking in local SEO. Okay? 1, physical address in the city of the search. You need to have on your website, as well as on these different local accounts that the engines provide you, a physical address in the area you're trying to perform in. We have a client that actually moved from the Zionsville address to an Indianapolis address just because of the local parameter that they're trying to get into, and that gets back to the PO box as well. Mm-hmm. They're not allowing that anymore, so you can't fabricate that local association. A manually owner verified place page. Okay. What that is in Google Places, it's an account that allows you to categorize yourself, and Google actually gets this data. If you actually do a business lookup or even an address lookup, you can actually see that there are unverified listings, and allows an owner of that company or that address to verify that they are, in fact, the owner, and they'll send over a postcard that you'll receive in 2 to 3 weeks that you verify with Google, or they'll even phone call you with an automated code that you can type in and verify that this is your listing. Okay. Yep. Proper category association on those place pages is very important. They give you the ability to even create categories that don't exist, but you go through a slew of different formatting whenever you're putting together this place page. Okay, and you need to do that with as much attention to detail as possible, because that is going to be you can always go back and change these categories, but it's really important to get out there with the right foot. Mm-hmm. Okay. The volume of traditionally structured citations. Now, citations are a whole nother beast here. It's your Yelp reviews, it's your Google reviews, and on top of that, it's also recommendations that are outside of search engines. Okay. Those things have a bearing on the local value of your account. Crawlable addresses matching the place page address. Now we're getting away from the place page, and we're going into the actual the website at large that you control. And you need to make sure that you don't have your address in an image, on a graphic image. You need to have it at the footer of your website, and have it at the footer of the entire slew of pages, not just on your contact page. But make sure that address also exactly matches your place page address, or your Bing or your Yahoo address, right?
Google's looking for consistency in all those things.
Mm-hmm. And a verification, right? Mm-hmm. The next 5 of factors of local optimization: page rank and authority of the website homepage. Now, we've talked about how Google scores your websites, and there's a particular page rank or a domain authority. That authority is created how?
Well, quickly, I wanted to shout out to Open Site Explorer .org, and that is an SEO Moz, and that's what we use to get these metrics.
That's right, but you can't talk about it now because that's our cool tool. We're going to talk about it later.
That's right. But PageRank is basically a 1 through 10 page ranking that Google applies. And I'm not sure all the factors on that one.
Okay.
You have to let me know on that.
Oh, yeah. Well, PageRank is actually a little bit more deprecated than it used to be. It was a little bit more of a stronger signifier of value, like a 0 to 10 score that Google was allowing. And that PageRank comes from different links from different websites. The same thing as what we're seeing in Domain Authority and Page Authority.
Right.
But basically, if you've got several different websites that have a score of 80 or 70 or 50, they actually pass that value to you. And on top of that, if you are linked by a site that's linked by another site, so you've got this kind of concentric circle of influence, it all passes down kind of like a trickle effect of value. So if you've got 1,000 links that are dogs out there of scores of 10, and we can show you how to do that research very quickly. If you've got that scoring out there, it's not passing nearly as much value as if you have maybe a handful of links that have some higher scores, right? So the inbound links is what we're talking about that dictate the authority of that website. The quality of inbound links are what we're talking about, right? On top of that, another factor for local optimization is a crawlable phone number that matches the place page phone number.
Right.
That's
not an image.
Not an image. And on top of that, local area code on the place page. Okay? City stats in the place's landing page title. This is where we're talking about optimization of the site structure a bit and actually referencing. We have one of our clients that we optimized about 5 years ago, more than that, 6 years ago, that unfortunately they never had to come back to us because we optimized them so well with some site structure. It's basically it reinforced them in a place where they're still on the top 10, top 3 of certain terms, and we actually employed a geotagging of URLs. So there's like a categorization. So it's the domain / Indianapolis, what have you, and even that was a reinforcing agent for local optimization, right? We want to focus on reviews. You want to solicit reviews from your customers. Hey, if you like what we do, please go on Yelp, go on Google, go and give us a good review, because those are measurement factors that Google is looking at on how to position that Google Place page. You want to solicit reviews from happy customers. And like I said, the site structure that follows your categorization of services needs to have local slugs, not only in the URL, but on top of that, inside the page itself. Couple more steps here. Product and service references in the anchor text of inbound links, right? Not only are links important, okay, but the reference, the link text, it needs to say your product and service, but it also needs to say your city or your county or something that has a local association, right? Yep. Geographical references that are in the anchor text. And on top of that, geographical references that are in the URL. But more on top of that, you also want to have not a bunch of links coming from sites that are in Colorado if you're trying to optimize in Indianapolis. You want to have companies that are known. See, it's kind of like a triangulation. If you actually have content links coming from websites that are already known to be locally associated, that's also passing that attention to that value to you as well. Right. Other local community links, such as the BBB, Chamber of Commerce, all the businesses in the local area, you want to groom that. So one of the best recommendations we have whenever we are trying to promote locally is talk to the client and say, who are your vendors? Who are the companies that you do business with here locally? And let's start building some links coming from those websites as well. I tell you what, we've got a lot more we could possibly talk about with local optimization. We're going to get into some of the cylinders here after the break. You're listening to Edge of the Web Radio. Talk to you real soon.
Test.